You finally nail a sketch, the energy is there, the line feels alive, and you love it. So you do what any artist would do. You clean it up, and somehow it gets worse. The finished line art is stiff, lifeless, and boring. Every bit of charm your sketch had, gone. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. And you are not doing it wrong, you are just missing a few key techniques that changes everything. In this video, I will show you exactly how to make line art that doesn't just look clean, but also looks good. Let's start with brushes. Take this hard-drawn brush with no pressure sensitivity, no opacity variation, no size response. Dead, flat. Every stroke looks exactly the same. And that's precisely the problem. Avoid any brush that looks like this. Instead, you want something like this. A brush with size set to pen pressure, plus a subtle pressure-driven opacity. That alone will instantly make your lines feel more dynamic. And if you can, add a little texture to your brush as well. Nothing heavy, just enough to take the edge off that too perfect digital look and give your lines some organic life. One more setting worth mentioning is smoothing. Keep it somewhere between 15 and 20%. It's enough to clean up any shakiness in your strokes without making the lines feel robotic. Go too high and your lines will lose their naturality. Now let's get into the actual process. When your goal is clean, good looking line art, I recommend dividing the work into 3 distinct steps: the rough sketch, the refinement, and then the line art itself. Step 1. The sketch. This is the most important stage of the entire process. Don't rush it. This is where you figure out your proportions, your composition, and your design. Every problem you solve here is a problem you won't have to worry about later. And every problem you ignore here will follow you all the way to the finished piece. So take your time, be critical, and get it right before you move on. Step 2. The refinement. This is where the details live. You have already solved the big problems. Now it's about fleshing things out, making your characters actually look like characters. You don't need to be critical about your lines here. The goal is to get all the information down on the canvas so you have a solid roadmap for the final step. Step 3. The line art. And this is where you slow back down. Now, to make a good line art, you first need to understand the types of lines your art can have and when to use them. Number 1. Thick lines. These are your big confidence strokes, the ones that give your artwork weight and presence. Thick lines are typically used for outer silhouettes and major shapes. They are what the eye sees first, so they need to feel bold and deliberate. Think of them as the frame that holds everything else together. Your outermost edge should almost always be your thickest lines. Detail lines. These are the fine, lighter strokes used for smaller features and surface level information. They sit inside the form, so they should never compete with your thick outlines. The contrast between detail lines and thick lines is what creates a natural sense of depth and visual hierarchy. If everything is the same weight, nothing stands out. Occlusion lines. An occlusion line appears where one shape tucks behind or underneath another, where light can't reach and contact is made. These lines are typically thicker and darker than your average detail lines because they represent shadow and depth. Adding proper occlusion line is one of the fastest ways to make flat line art suddenly feel three-dimensional. Number 4. Broken lines. Not every line needs to be continuous. Sometimes letting the viewer's imagination do the work is better than you doing the work yourself. Drawing a few broken lines to suggest the mouth is better than drawing the whole mouth. The same can be said for the nose. Broken lines also work better when defining a sudden change in the form. Number 5. Form lines. These lines follow the surface of a three-dimensional form. They tell the viewer how a surface curves and moves through space. Used correctly, they can make a flat surface instantly read as a sphere, a cylinder, or any shape you want. Now there are a few rules, or I should say principles, that you should know before you start your line art. Number 1. Lines follow perspective. Just like objects in the real world, your lines should respond to depth. Objects closer to the camera get thicker, heavier lines. Objects further away get thinner, lighter ones. When your line weight shifts with perspective, the whole piece starts to feel like it exists in actual space rather than sitting flat on a canvas. Use your whole arm. For small light details, draw from your wrist. For long sweeping strokes, let your whole arm do the work. And whatever you are drawing, maintain a consistent speed. Drawing too slowly is one of the most common reasons lines comes out wobbly and uncertain. A confident fluid stroke almost always looks better than a careful, hesitant one. Also, don't forget to rotate your canvas. There's no rule that says you have to draw at an awkward angle. Find a position that feels natural and work from there. Correct without guilt. The eraser, the lasso tool, the liquify tool, these exist for a reason. Use them. Some of you might feel like using correction tools is somehow cheating. It isn't. Even the most experienced artists consistently refine and adjust their lines. Getting a clean, confident-looking stroke by any means necessary is always better than keeping a bad line that you are not satisfied with. And there you go. You are ready to make your line art. I hope this helped. And this is it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.